Welcome to Fallout 76, this is Jim. In this video we're going to take a look at completing daily challenges for today, Monday, January the 6th, 2025. Let's take a look at and see what we got for today. Alright, we got some good ones here. And we have many videos on my channel that will help you guys out. I give you different ideas, different locations, easy areas, hard areas over there if you're a brand spanking new player to the game. A returning player, even if you're an experienced player, there's a particular daily, weekly challenge that's giving you a hard time or trouble. I'm sure you'll find a video on my channel that will help you. I try to keep my videos as updated as I possibly can. Of course, you guys are awesome, the great comments and tips, which are greatly appreciated. Okay, if you're taking a look here, if you notice I have a little bit more score than you, it's because I have a 25% boost going on right now. Of course, I claimed that 25% boost right off the current Season 19 Season Pass on 3 pages, a 5%, a 10%, another 10%. Now you can claim that as being a Fallout First member, or if you pay the 1500 atoms for the Season Pass. Alright, here, let's take a look at what we're going to do here first. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one here first. Craft a grenade, mine, or thrown weapon 5. Now, of course, a thrown weapon can be crafted at the weapons workbench. The grenade and mine are crafted at the tinker's workbench. Let's go to the weapons workbench here, and we'll take a look at that here first. Alright, so if we go to our weapons workbench here, we're going to go craft. We're going to go down here to the throwing weapons section. Now these throwing knives I highly recommend because you can craft these right out of the vault. This is a default plan you learn right at the very beginning of the game, as long as you have the steel to craft them, okay? And they only cost you 4 steel per throwing knife. All right, let's go ahead and craft a couple of those. Okay, 2 for 5, nice. Now if you are looking to craft grenades or mines, that is done at the tinker's workbench. We're going to go craft. Okay, as you can go down here. So as you can see, we have our grenades section here. Now, if you will notice with the grenade section, it does require certain perk cards, sometimes 2 perk cards. It all depends, really. Now, myself, I like to kind of either craft some of these frag grenades or these nuka grenades, right? Let's go ahead. We're going to craft a nuka grenade here. Let's craft 2 of them. There we go. Now the mines are down here, and very similar to the grenades, they do require perk cards as well. Some of them do require 2 of them. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to craft this frag mine here. All right, there you go. Now you don't have to craft all 3 different types. You can craft all 5 of the throwing knives, and that's what I usually do, but to kind of change things up a little bit here. Let's go out here and take care of some riffraff we have going on. There we go. Thought I had cleared out the area before making the video, but apparently not. Not good enough anyway, right? Alright, so let's see what's next here. Mod a Ballistic Weapon 1. Alright, so very similar to what we did the other day with our armor and with our weapons. So as soon as you come out of the vault as a brand new player, you'll be picking up weapons and you'll be scrapping them. Now, even though you may not use those weapons day to day, your character will always have that mod for those weapons that you scrap, okay? And as you go along a little bit further and you start leveling up, and the more mods you get, sometimes those mods will become a little bit more difficult to obtain, but you'll always have those mods that you learned even as a low-level character, all right? Now, you can definitely do it that way, but at main thing, you gotta remember it has to be a ballistic weapon. It cannot be an energy weapon for this particular daily challenge. This one here is a little bit more specific, okay? But what I usually recommend to people is if you have a weapon, in this case a ballistic weapon, that you know a paint or a skin for. And when you change the paint of the skin, basically you're just using oil, and if you go in default, you're not using anything at all, and that counts as a mod, right? So a good way to kind of check that out is just go to the Atomic Shop, and this is more so for the returning folks to the game who maybe were around when we had the scoreboards. And on those scoreboards, we got tons and tons of paints and skins off the scoreboard. Now, we still can in the season passes, but of course we're paying, using tickets to purchase them. which I don't bother doing anymore because I got so many of these skins. But let's go to the skin section here. We're going to go right down to the weapons section, and very similar to the armor section, what we did the other day. But as you can see, they do sell paints and skins in the Atomic Shop once in a while, and this week just happens to be on sale. So these are pretty good prices, actually, 250 atoms for these different paints. And you can see when you highlight them, you can see what weapon they go with. And then if you keep going down a little bit further, more so for the returning folk, this shows the weapons that you own, or that you or the paints that you own for a particular type of weapons, what I meant to say. All right, so just an FYI. So if you have a handmade, you have a lever action or whatever, you can kind of go through with what you have. Of course, it's going to be different for everyone. All right, and even if it's a weapon that you don't use day to day, you can just kind of have it stored away in your stash box just for these daily challenges to pop up. And again, it's just so easy to kind of just change the paint or change the skin. And again, at the end of the day, if you don't have a paint or a skin, if you're so new to the game, you're going to have to just kind of suck it up and apply that mod at your weapons workbench. All right, so just an FYI. Now, of course, the main thing we do have to does have to be a ballistic weapon. So let's go ahead. Let's go to our weapons section here. So this hunting lever action is a ballistic weapon. So we're going to grab that. We're going to go to our weapons workbench here. We're going to go modify/repair. All right. So as I mentioned, as you can see, I have 27 of 35 mods unlocked for this bad boy. And as we kind of go down, and if we can change these different mods that I have unlocked it by scrapping, all right, as you can see, it does cost resources. And sometimes if you're a new character, you might not have Fallout first, you might not have a scrap box full of all kinds of junk. And you might be kind of short sometimes, and that's what I find with my lower level character, is I'm just not scrapping enough stuff. I'm just kind of making videos for folks, and I've come into a point here where I'm going to have to start picking things up and scrapping them because I just don't have enough resources like aluminum, copper, etc. to even repair, let alone change the skin of mods and weapons, all right? So just an FYI there. So let's go down here to the skin/paint section. And right now it has the hunting lever action on. Let's go default. Okay, so as you can see, 0 requirement at all. So there's our mod ballistic weapon done, 1 for 1, as you can see. It doesn't cost us anything. Now, it will cost us 1 oil to go back to the hunting lever action, but it's just 1 oil. And usually oil is something that many people, even if you're brand new to the game, have a lot of, all right? More than you think. All right, good stuff. So let's put this lever action back before I forget, or I don't scrap it by mistake there. All right, there we go. All right, let's see what's next here. Okay, all right. Scrap junk to produce cloth, 10. So cloth is a junk item that we can use the bulk and scrap method at our Tinker's Workbench. Let's go ahead and go craft here. Go down to the bulk section and then the C section here. So we have bulk 1 cloth. You need 2 plastic and 30 raw cloth. And all you do is you bulk 1 cloth and then you scrap it. It's hands down the fastest, quickest, easiest way to complete this daily challenge. It's more so for the folks that are kind of short on time or just want to get this stuff done as fast as possible, which is what, what a lot of people like to kind of opt out for these days. But again, there are some people that like to kind of do things the old-fashioned way, and definitely nothing wrong with that. But the bulking and scrap method is definitely where it's at. Now, if you are looking to get cloth, if you take a look at the description of the video, you'll come across a link to a video. Is locations for burnt books and locations for pre-war money. Okay, so when you scrap pre-war money, we get cloth. When you scrap the burnt books, you get cloth as well. All right, and of course you can check out those videos there for pre-war money. Again, cash registers. When you open up any level, say from level 0 to level 3, you'll get pre-war money. Right up here, Baby Withers Water Park is pretty good for that. Down through Flatwoods at the Tavern, pretty decent spot there as well. Right here in Morgantown's a pretty good spot. We do have an event called Back on the Beat, and that is a pretty good little event there. And at the end of that event, he unlocks a door to the bank, and there's about 4 or 5 safes in there. You just unlock them, and you get all kinds of pre-war money in there as well. If you come up here to Morgantown Airport, usually corpses that are up there when you first go to the airport, like on the back side of the arrival section, we have the runway. And basically there's a little stage there with some about 4 or 5 corpses laying around that usually have pre-war money on them. That's what I usually show people. Pretty good spot there. If you're lucky enough to call in the event collision course, all right, at the end of that event, there'll be the little government aid drop. Usually that government aid drop will have anywhere from 99 to 100, 101 pre-war money. Now, one thing really good about this particular spot is you don't even have to complete the event. If you go on a public server or even server hop a couple times, there is a chance that you can come here and somebody already did the event and those government aid drops are already there. And even though you didn't complete the event, you can still clean out those government aid drops. And I think the most I've ever seen there at one time, and this is just me showing up to a server, a public server, and didn't have anything to do with completing the events, I was able to clean out all 3 government aid drops. I ended up with over 300 pre-war money, etc. with other stuff that comes in those government aid drops. So that is a really good way to get pre-war money. Another, as I mentioned, burnt books. Probably one of the best spots for burnt books is right here in Summersville. Once when you spawn and we have the house on the right-hand side. Once upon a time, it used to be full of Mirelurks. Now there's maybe about 4 or 5 weakened ghouls, but we go there quite often here in the daily, weekly challenge videos, and there's all kinds of burnt books. The main thing you got to remember is a lot of people like to reset their game by picking up 250 or 255 items, and they use this house full of burnt books. There's just so many burnt books in there to reset their game. So you can actually server hop a couple of servers back to back to back, and the place be cleaned right out, right? Just kind of be aware of that, all right? We can also find maybe half a dozen burnt books here up in Helvetia. We do have like the bluish off-white house across the street from the yellow house in the corner upstairs. There's a bookshelf there. Even over here, where are we at here? Even over here in Sutton, if we actually spawn here at the Overseer's home, we actually don't go to the Overseer's home. We just kind of take a look down towards the town, and you'll see like a blue house, very small, but that is the Overseer's childhood home. There's usually about 5 or 6 burnt books upstairs there as well. So there's many great options I just gave you guys. Again, you can use the bulk and scrap method. That's definitely where it's at too. Let's pop over here to Summersville, and we're going to check out that house with the burnt books in. The main reason why I usually kind of head this direction is because I do have that standalone video where I bring people here, and I still do get the odd comment from people who are maybe new to the game, or you know, maybe they're just a little bit frustrated, but they are coming here looking for burnt books and they're all gone, all right? And they're saying, nope, there's no burnt books there anymore. And as much as I appreciate that from people letting me know changes in the game, but again, I always kind of show this off just to kind of keep it updated as much as I can, right? Let's take care of this guy. And let's get our burnt books here. We're just going to grab a couple. As you can see, there's all kinds of burnt books here right up the stairs. You can see those 2 bedrooms upstairs are just full of burnt books, all right? Now we can go ahead and scrap these anywhere at all, as long as it's a workbench. We're just going to go back to our camp and just scrap them here. Again, any workbench will do. Another player's camp, train station, workbench, what have you. It's a little bit quieter this way. This is one of the reasons why I timestamped the video as well. Those of you who just kind of want to get to the point. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to scrap these burnt books. As you can see, right in the middle, raw cloth. Just like that. Scrap trying to produce cloth, just like that. And again, a lot of people, you know, will always opt out for the faster, quicker, easier way, unless you're legitimately looking for a junk item. But I'm still going to give you guys as many options as possible to complete these dailies. What's next? Let's go ahead and take a camera picture of a Stingwing 1. So I do have a video out there showing you a great spot for a Stingwing. And what we do is we spawn here at Big B's rest stop. Then we work our way up the hill right when you spawn in, and there'll be a kind of like a sludgy looking lagoon area. And there's usually a couple of Stingwings kind of floating around there. Again, they can be a little bit higher levels, so just be aware of that. And there's usually 3 floaters here, so you got to be careful in around this general area, but that is a guaranteed spot for Stingwings. Another pretty good spot is right here, pretty close to this little, I don't want to call it a snake. You can always spawn here at the White Spring Bunker, probably pretty fairly close, or even over here at the Miners Monument. Make your way over here, and there's like a little building. Of course, it's part of the White Spring green area, and there's usually 2 Stingwings, usually one right on the side of the white building, just a tiny little white building there, part of the White Springs area. There's usually one kind of flying around or could be on a tree, so that is also a pretty decent spot. And that's where we went last time. So actually, let's make our way over here to Big B's rest stop this time here, just to kind of change things up. And of course, I do have a video showing you this particular spot here. All right, so there's the red rocket there. We're going to head up this way, so we're going to head south. Okay. Now again, it says take a camera picture, so we have to use the Pro Snap Deluxe camera. If we try using photo mode off the map screen, it's not going to work. Okay, and the Stingwing can either be dead or alive. I prefer dead myself. All right, so let's pop up here. Again, we'll kind of crouch down there to remain hidden. All right, so we have this little lagoon kind of area. And we can see our Stingwing over here. Right, there we go. So we got 3 of them up here. Pretty good spot. Pretty good spot indeed. All right, so there's our Stingwing there. So again, if you try going to photo mode off the map screen, it's not going to work. Okay, you have to use the Pro Snap Deluxe camera, which of course is under the weapons section. Now, I did make a video on how to obtain the Pro Snap Deluxe camera several months ago using my low-level character. Okay, so you can always, if you're having trouble, you can always utilize that video. It's all timestamped. It's fairly easy to do, and it has a really good description. Now, whenever time you're using the Pro Snap Deluxe camera, you see in the top right corner, you see how that popped up Stingwing. Right, see how we kind of move the camera away and see how it disappears. We have to make sure it says Stingwing in the top right hand corner of the screen, and that goes with anything when you're using the Pro Snap Deluxe camera, whether it's for a daily challenge or for a quest for Davenport. You have to make sure it has the description in the top right hand corner, or it's not going to count. Right, let's take our camera picture there we go. Let me take a camera picture of a Stingwing, 1 for 1, done. And this is a guaranteed spot here. Now, the short and dirty version of this Pro Snap Deluxe camera, of course, every server that you go on, whether it's private or public, is going to have a corpse, either Ansel or Ann, sorry. And they're going to have a broken Pro Snap Deluxe camera on. Now, the hard part is trying to find where they're at randomly. So the best bet is to go to the Atomic Shop here. As it loads in, of course. Go down here to the camp section. We're going to slide it over to the utility tab here. And we're going to come across my personal terminal. This is free for everyone. You go ahead and claim it. You go to your camp and you build it and you interact with it. There'll be a couple of options there. You, of course, you choose the option for investigate the suspicious person. And when you do that, you back out of the computer. And just like any quest that you do here in the game, it'll be on the top right-hand corner of your main screen here, right? Just like when you're doing a daily quest or some sort of event that you're tracking, okay? It'll come up as investigate the suspicious person, right? Now you do is you go back to your map screen, and we're just using this as an example only. It's going to be a diamond like this, but it's going to be filled in. Now, depending on what your map looks like, you might have a couple diamonds that are filled in depending on what you have going on in your game. But you just take your little cursor and you just kind of hover over the diamond that's filled in. That'll say investigate a suspicious person. Then you fast travel to that area. It'll be either Ansel or Ann. And then you go ahead, you take the broken Pro Snap Deluxe camera off their body, you take it to your Tinker's Workbench, and you craft your own Pro Snap Deluxe camera. Now, I highly recommend you take good care of it. If you drop it by mistake, it's gone. It destroys itself. And good luck getting it back. I have yet to meet anyone that has ever did that and got their camera back. So, yeah, take good care of your Pro Snap Deluxe camera. Just saying. All right. Now that we beat that to death, what's next? Go ahead, kill a Gulper 3, seeing how we're on this side of the map here. So a couple great spots we can find Gulpers. Right here, there's 2 of them here at Dire Chemical. Now for this particular one, we're going to have to maybe server hop twice. or at least one other time, I guess, from the server that we're on now to get the 3. But when you spawn in here at Dire Chemical, you actually spawn up here at the road, and usually just down off the road. There's 2 of them down there. One of the best spots, of course, is good old Gulper Lagoon, which is right here. We can find at least 6 of them up here. And if you're on a public server with other people, sometimes there'll be an event called Moonshine Jamboree. It'll be right here at Sunday Brothers Cabin. Again, recommend doing that with other people, but there'll be so many gulpers that show up there, you just fill your boots up, as well as anglers and bog crawlers. But all kinds of gulpers show up for that bad boy. Alright, so we are going to need 3, so let's go right here to Gulper Lagoon, which is what I usually do, unless they're just looking for a picture where you just need 1, and then we would go down to Dire Chemical. Alright, let's lock and load here, Jimmy. Now, you do got to be careful of gulpers that like to kind of hang from the trees. If they are the scorched kind, they usually kind of blend in with the trees a little bit there, so just word to the wise there. Alright, let's take care of this guy. Alright, there's our gulpers there. Nice. And this guy here's coming over for a little bit of fun too, is he? Yeah, right on. Real dramatic. Once upon a time, his head's floating down the river there. That's awesome. There's actually used to be 6 here, probably a little over a year ago, but now there's only 4. But there used to be 4 adults and usually about 2 newts, which are a little bit like a baby version of the gulpers. But yeah, there's only 4 here now, which is a little disappointing. But we can still find them. It's a guaranteed spot. Alright, what's next here? Alright, Cripple, Super Mutant's Head 2. So again, many great spots we can find Super Mutants here around the wasteland. The first Super Mutant you probably run into is right here at the north Confounded Lookout, which is just east of Vault 76. There's usually about 2 to 3 there as well, some floaters. Right here at Grafton, in the courtyard area at the Eastern Regional Penitentiary, right here in Grafton Dam. All kinds of them here in Grafton Steel, pretty good spot. We have Newgad, we have Wade Airport. A little bit more of a challenge, we have good old West Tech, of course, everyone knows that. Huntersville, Skyline Valley region, we have the Grindstone Arch, we have Research Site Saxony, so there's all kinds of options there for Cripple Super Mutant's Head, right? Where are we going to go here today there, Jimmy? Let's pop into Grafton, and we'll try our luck here. All right. Now, we're just not killing the Super Mutant. What are we doing here, Jim? We are crippling the Super Mutant's Head too, so you can go ahead and free game if you so wish. Definitely nothing wrong with that. You can also use VATS. When you use VATS as a perk card that will help you out is Under Perception. It is called Concentrated Fire. This allows you to move your VATS around from head, torso, arms, and legs. But again, if you're a good free aimer, you can always do it that way. Most ballistic weapons work quite well. The bow and arrow, the crossbow, the drill, but of course you had to get up close and personal, so a tanky build or power armor is usually recommended for that. What else there? Shotgun, but it's always good to have the Enforcer perk card under agility equipped. Yeah, but you guys have seen me do these type of daily, weekly challenges all the time, like trying to cripple. And we all know that not all weapons are created equal when you're trying to cripple something, all right? Let's go for the head here. Now we are going to need 2 of them. Can't believe the junk we get off these guys now. It's unbelievable. Let's go down and get there. There's usually a couple guys up on the roof, as we can see there. Grafton is a pretty good spot. And there we go. Cripple Super Mutant's Head 2 for 2 done. Just like that. We spawned in an event ourselves. Protest March. Sweet. Alright, let's see what's next here. Complete a Daily Quest 1. Okay, if you take a look at the description, there's a link to a video called Complete Daily Quest for Newbies. Of course, you don't have to be a newbie to watch that video. It is all time-stamped. We don't do every single daily quest in the game, but we do quite a few of them. I show you how to toggle them active and how to complete them. You could definitely check that video just in case you're having a little bit of a hard time trying to find a daily quest to do and how to complete it. And there's usually a couple I like to kind of highlight particular for this video, just for the sheer easiness of it there. A lot of people like to kind of come here to Big Al's Tattoo Parlor. We have Biv down there. That's a repeatable tipsy taste test. That's a 24-hour test. Basically, every 24 hours, he gives you a new quest. So it's really good. You do get pretty good recipes from him. I'm pretty sure I have most of them by now, but that's a good one to do if you want particular alcoholic recipes you can't get anywhere else. You can only get from him. All right. That's a pretty good one to do. You just got to be careful because he is a little polluted there, so to speak. So it may seem he's a little glitchy or hard to talk to. So you're going to have to kind of spam the interact button there. But yeah, pretty good conversation we had the last time we went there with some folks. But the particular daily quest I like to kind of show off is one right here, the giant teapot. Talk to Sweetwater. We have the one up here at Prickett's Fort. It is called Buried with Honor. And we have one over here at the Pumpkin House. It is called Speak with Jack. So let's go over to the Pumpkin House here today. And we'll speak to our old pal Jack O'Lantern. Now, of course, there's many, many other daily quests here in the game. There's actually daily quests that are considered daily quests that don't count for the Daily Quest Daily Challenge, believe it or not. And some of those are right here at the Gilman Lumber Mill. So just be aware of that, right? All right. Let's talk to our old pal here, Jack O'Lantern.
You there? Yes, I remember you. Back for more seeds, are you?
I am.
Kindly fetch me some pumpkins to carve, will you? You will be adequately compensated, I assure you.
All right, good stuff. Now, this is one of the daily quests that doesn't pop up automatically on the right-hand side. Now, this only started since the update we got on December 3rd, 2024, and I don't know why that is. So you go open up your Pip-Boy, you go under Data, you go under Daily, and this one here is called Trick or Treat. Jack has asked me to find some pumpkins for him in the surrounding area. Don't have enough pumpkins already. Let's go ahead. We're going to highlight that, so now it pops up. So I don't know why some are automatically popping up, and ones like this is not. I don't know why that is, but that's how you get to it, okay? Just in case you're wondering. All right. Now, there is a perk card that will help us out here when we are collecting pumpkins. Of course, it is under Perception. It is called Green Thumb. So reap twice as much when harvesting flora. So instead of one, you pick up two. And this card definitely helps you. Now, you don't need this card to complete this daily quest, because there are enough pumpkins in around this property that you don't need the card, okay? There's also pumpkins across the street. There's a couple a little bit up the road here on this side. And I do have a pumpkin farm location video on my channel. You can always check that out as well. There's a little patch here. As you can see, we're going to interact. As you see, we're getting 2 added, and it's being counted as 2, which is awesome. And again, you don't need this perk card. There are enough pumpkin patches around this house alone to get the 10 for 10. So there we go. Let's bring these back to good old pal Jack here.
So many pumpkins to carve. So little time.
Let's go ahead and interact with them.
Wait, I know you. Welcome back.
All right, here's your pumpkins, bud.
As usual, many
And it
thanks
says
for
that
your
easy. And
service.
I know there's a lot of daily quests to do in the game, but there's usually these 3 that I just mentioned that I usually like to kind of show off just because of the sheer easiness up here. And even if you're a lower level character, you do come up to this area, which I discovered there. It's been a long time, but I am just rediscovering, I guess, with my lower level character doing these quests and events and missions for the game, that you do end up traveling the map very early on in game. All right, it's just an FYI. So I think we're done. We are, just like that. Nice. Let's head back to our camp here, and we'll go over weapon of the day. Of course, it's the same weapon I've been using all week, but here's Jimmy and the Gym Bros ready to go to the gym. Working on chest and tries here today. Yeah, whatever, Jim. Whatever, buds. All right. Weapon of the day here. You guys don't want to hear about that. Let's go modify / repair. Alright, so this weapon of the day, Gourmand Suppressed Submachine Gun. Damage increase up to plus 24% as you fill your hunger and thirst meters, currently plus 12%. I'm only halfway there. Projectiles explode for plus 20% weapon damage, plus 100% faster movement speed while aiming, plus 60% armor penetration. Of course, the mods I have on is the armor piercing receiver, short light barrel, recoil compensating stock, medium quick eject drum, reflex shot dot, suppressor, and I don't have a paint. This is probably one of the few weapons I don't have a paint for. I can't find anywhere. 50 damage as of right now, 45 ammo it takes. And of course, this is a fully automatic weapon, and it loves the ammo. You go through it pretty fast. Pretty fast, yeah. Alright, let's take a look at those perk cards here, if I can hit the right button. So of course, under Perception, we have Master Commando, Commando, Expert Commando, all maxed out. We have Tank Killer, Concentrated Fire, we have Suppressor, Tenderizer, we have Covert Operative, White Evasive, White Knight, Adrenaline, and these random luck cards. And when these pop in, you guys see these pop in from the left-hand side of the screen when they're being activated. And to be honest with you guys, like, I'm real impressed with these luck cards. Like, even the 1-stars, they pop up like all the time. And I really can't see needing anything more than a 1-star for most of these myself. Legendary perk cards, these are the ones I've owned for quite a while. They're all maxed out, and they have treated me quite well over the years. So, yeah, just like that. Now, today is Monday, so tomorrow will be Tuesday. We'll have a fresh set of weeklies. We'll also have the a new Atomic Shop weekly update, so, you know, keep tuned for that. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share when you have the chance. It really helps me out. I'd like to thank my channel members, Artistically Arranged, Michael Edwards, Nigel Wiffen, Heather, Whitetribe, Robco, Mr. Shelton, Drake Stamps, Mr.Prince, NotMeButMeYesMeThatsMe, Drew, Andrew, Demon, Confoundedbridge, Ghost Primus, Corne van Niekerk, Ben Durant, John, DJ59. Thank you all so very much, and I hope you all have a nice day.